What's good, y'all? Big shout out to the 4 or 5 people who actually pay attention to this channel. You know, I'm sorry about the lack of content, but I told y'all I'm not a YouTuber. Okay, I'm just not a YouTuber, and it's not that I'm too good to be labeled as one of those, but it's just I don't have the energy to make new videos every day. I mean, hell, I don't have the energy to make new videos every 2 to 3 months. So the handful of videos that I actually have, on this channel, I'm glad that y'all seem to like them and all that good stuff, and we get good feedback. And again, I'm just a dude who makes comic books. I'm a big comic book nerd. I've grew up in comic book culture. It's just my thing. So I like to celebrate, when we have comic book movies, comic book TV shows, video games, whatever. I just like to celebrate that because that's my shit. You know what I mean? So again, shout out to all those who've been supporting this channel and giving good feedback and giving bad feedback. I don't care. Like this. It's I'm putting it out there for people to respond to. So hey, do what you do with it. Okay. There has been a lot that has happened in the 9,000 days since I made my last YouTube video, but I figure now is as good a time to talk about it as any. Okay. And I haven't perused these Twitter streets as much as I normally do, or as much as I used to. So imagine my surprise when I got on there yesterday, and I just said, "Well, well, well." I guess the Snyderverse is finally officially dead by the creator's standpoint, meaning Zack Snyder. He finally had to come out and say, hey, that chapter in my life was closed. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Glad you like it, but I ain't doing that shit no more. Which I know deflated a lot of cultists out there. But the funniest part to me was the people who just like fucking refused to believe it. Like, that's not what he meant. He was responding to something else. Like, listen, man, there's a whole interview he did where he laid out he's done. I'm done. That chapter in my life is closed. He even said like, I'm not the guy that you want to be the architect of your cinematic universe. He's like, I like Superman, like Batman, then I cut the deck. That's basically what he said. So anybody out there still trying to twist his words and just not going to believe what he says and all that type of shit, I get it. I get it. Because y'all have invested your entire lives for like the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years into just worshiping this man and his movies, and you built this fan fiction up in your head that you started to believe in shit, and it got to the point where y'all were just lashing out at people. Like, I always thought it was funny that the same people who were sitting there going on and on about how much they raise for suicide awareness and prevention will still turn around and be telling people to kill themselves and I hate you and calling them Nazis and pedophiles and shit. Like, that's the weirdest shit in the world to me. There is nothing on this planet that I like enough to be sitting up there accusing people of being fucking Nazis and pedos. Like, that's just I don't. There's nothing out there. I'm a huge sports fan. I can't think of one team where if you root for my rival, I'm calling you a Nazi and a pedo. That's just weird as fuck to me, and it's even more weird and even sadder when it comes to fucking comic book movies. Man, this is nerd shit. Like, I get it. You might be a Marvel fan and they might be a DC fan. Y'all can go back and forth, but I have yet to see Marvel and DC fans like just really going at each other, calling each other Nazis and pedophiles and shit. The shit is weird. Even in these ratchet ass Twitter streets, I refuse to call it X or whatever the fuck the new name is. Twitter. Shit, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say Twitter, so I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter. Shit, your mama named you Twitter, I'm gonna call you Twitter. So my thing is, anything that develops that much fucking venom and anger, it's weird as fuck to me because there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that is that fucking serious unless you have made it your entire life and your entire personality. You know what I mean? So salute to you guys for your stamina, because you guys have been at it for years. You have just been, it's coming back. The Snyderverse is coming back, and it's coming back. Oh, and there's one misconception that I need to clear up, because it's a crutch that a lot of the cultists use to lean on. When they say, why should we give up? You also told us that the Snyder Cut didn't exist, and we proved that to be wrong. And it's like, no, you didn't. The Snyder Cut did not exist. The idea of the Snyder Cut certainly existed, but there's a reason why he needed an additional $70 million to be able to finish it because it didn't exist. I guess if you just wanted him to put out shit with green screens and unfinished CGI and all that type of shit just to be happy, then yes, I guess then it did exist. But what you guys got to see on HBO Max that you worship, you know what I'm saying? That is your personal Jesus right there. Whatever it is, that was done with that $70 million, okay? And that was everybody just throwing y'all a bone because it had picked up so much momentum. We coming out of the pandemic. I mean, technically was still in it at the time, but they needed content. People stuck in the house. People wanted something, and Warner Brothers saw that shit as the perfect opportunity to make some money, get some revenue. You know, that's business shit. Which is another reason why I don't be understanding why y'all get so mad. Like, think about what you're saying. You're so mad at Warner Brothers, a $1 billion corporation, right? What corporations care about you? Like, in all honesty, a lot of y'all own either Galaxies or you own iPhones. Do you think Samsung or Apple gives a shit about you? No, they don't. Disney don't care about you. Warner Brothers doesn't care about you. Domino's fucking Pizza doesn't care about you. They are businesses. Their job is to make money. That's the whole reason they exist. We got to make money. And they're not sitting around thinking about a little cult of fans. You know, well, we don't want to upset them or we want to appease them. No, they don't fucking care. If they think that they can make some money off you, that's what the fuck they're going to do. And that's what they did with the Snyder Cut. So please clear that misconception that it existed before they gave this man $70 million to complete it, because it didn't. Like, that's just factual right there. But anyway, back to the whole thing. The shit is dead now. All right, and I know the cultists are having a hard time with it. That's fine. I make fun of y'all. I don't hate y'all. Like, that's the craziest part about it. Like, and please don't take like my tone or my words. Like, this is how I talk to every fucking body. I talk to my best friends the same way. We cuss and we talk very straightforward and matter of factly. Like, that's how we do, you know. So there's no anger and animosity towards y'all. You just annoy the shit out of me. Because it's like, I should be able to go to Twitter or Facebook or whatever fucking social media platform I'm on and read about some upcoming DC news, DC movie news, any fucking comic book movie news without having you lunatics jumping all in there with your fucking hashtags and shit, all in your feelings because I didn't like BVS and a whole bunch of other people didn't like BVS. Like, they made that money because we wanted to see fucking Batman and Superman in a fucking movie. It reminds me of that scene in Hangover 2 when they found out that Alan had drugged him again, and he laced the marshmallows with whatever drugs he laced them with, right? And he's looking at Stu, and he's just like, it's not my fault. You looked at me, you liked him. And he said, because I fucking like marshmallows, you fucking psychopath. Like, that's how I look at it. We fucking love Batman and Superman. And we got the first damn movie where we get to get both of them in it together. Yes, we're excited. We're plopping our money down and we buying tickets and we're going to go see the shit. That's how it made all that fucking money. It didn't make all that money because of you fucking lonely ass cultists and up there like, Zack made this for us. No. And it wasn't even until the whole release the Snyder Cut movement really got going that y'all became what you are. Okay, because before that, it was just fans, or it was DCEU fans, or it was just DC fans. Like, that's what everybody was. Zack Snyder just happened to be the guy who made the first couple of DCEU movies, and that's who was casting a lot of those people, so they looked at him as the architect. But as he clearly states in this article, I'm not the guy to be your architect. So it's like, he didn't even fucking want the job. He just wanted to film his specific movies. Now, whether or not you think it's right or wrong that he didn't get to finish them, that's completely subjective, and that's your opinion and all that shit. Me personally, I gave him the chance with 2.5 movies, and I say 2.5 because most of that fucking the theatrical Justice League was directed by him. The edits and the reshoots and all that shit, that was Joss Whedon. But there's a reason why most of that footage is the same fucking footage in the Snyder Cut. Because he directed it. So I give him half that movie because he didn't get to finish it the way he wanted to. So 2.5 movies in, and I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just like, this is just not for me. It's depressing. It's dark, and even all that slow motion, like it's just But anyway, man, It's done. It's dead. He's not coming back. And like I said, you guys are really going to have to let the shit go. It is, oh my gosh, it is not healthy. It is just not healthy. Because now the man himself has said it, and you guys have spent the last 24 hours twisting and turning and trying to make sense of it and running to your wonderful grifters out there. You know who they are. These grifters with their grifting channels that's just trying to sell you a dream because that's the only way. You only know them because they became cultists just like you, but they figured out how to make money off y'all's dumbasses. So that's the only difference. They're making the money off of your stupidity, but all of y'all are stupid together. And they are trying to sell you a dream of what Zack really meant. Zack fucking said what he said. That's the part that kills me the most. Like these directors and people, they're telling you how they feel about certain shit. And y'all just don't want to hear it. You're so beside yourself, like, no, he can't possibly mean that. No. Like the David Ayer shit. Oh my gosh. I get it. Y'all want to release the Ayer cut, and that's fine. But to be honest with yourselves, y'all don't really give a fuck about the Ayer cut. And I'm not shitting on that one. But I actually kind of sort of like Suicide Squad. It had moments in it for me that I was like, cool. But I completely understand why it missed the mark overall. Whether it was the studio interfering with it, which is why y'all want the Ayer cut, or that's really what the fuck it is. I know David came out and said, like, that's not my movie. And so I'm going to believe him, right? But at the same token, even with a more serious tone, that movie had problems, man. It had problems. So, you know, if the Ayer cut ever gets released, if him and James Gunn actually had that conversation, fine, so be it. I'm all with it, okay? Put it out. But I'm not waiting and being crazy like you guys are doing over this shit being released. For one, where does it fit in the grand scheme of anything? Like Aquaman's about to drop, right? That's the end of the DCEU. They have no more movies from that era coming out. That's it. It's done, right? So why in the hell are you going to release an Ayer cut of a movie that came out 7 fucking years ago that the general audience was like, nah, we good. But you're going to put some money into that shit. That's why everybody kept telling you the whole restore the Snyderverse, it can exist in Netflix and they're not spending fucking money to make that shit. They're just not doing it. They got a whole new slew of plans that they're putting out there that they're getting ready for. And you guys are like, no, we need sequels to shit that came out a decade ago. That's what we need. No, you don't. No, you don't. And if you feel so compelled about it and you want to talk about how DC movies are flopping and the Snyder cult that's the real power, put your money together. Put your own fucking money together. Come up with the $200 million plus that it's going to take to do shit and go do it yourselves. I'm quite sure if you walked up to Warner Brothers with $200 million, they probably listen to you. We want to make a film. Cool. Give us your money. That works out perfect. But until you guys are doing that, I don't even see what you're crying about anymore, especially since your Messiah, your slow-mo Messiah, has came out and said that shit is dead. We're over it. We're not doing the shit no more. I got Rebel Moon and all my Netflix shit, and y'all are still on it. Like, I get it, y'all showing your little fake support. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call it fake support. I know you guys are really anticipating your Rebel Moon, but if I interview any one of you guys and ask you honestly, are you cool with the Rebel Moon and the Army of the Dead and all that type of shit? And you cool with just getting those movies? Or do you really want the Snyderverse? Would you give up all your Rebel Moons and your Armies of the Dead to get some Snyderverse shit back? You would all pick Snyderverse, and you know damn well I'm telling the truth. Okay? But you put this fake compassion in it, but y'all don't even go nowhere near as hard for Rebel Moon as y'all go for the Snyder cut, the Snyderverse shit. Right? And this man ain't directed a fucking DC movie in 6 years. But y'all are sitting up here like, no, man, we gotta have the Snyderverse back. Okay, you can keep living in denial and not even believe. The man that you want to actually make this shit says he doesn't want to do it, and you're still like, no, we gotta restore it. Well, like I said, raise your $200 million and go make the shit yourselves. That's about the only option you have right now. Universal's not buying it. Netflix isn't buying it. Santa Claus isn't buying it. No fucking body is buying this shit to restore it for a little small ass group of lunatics online. And you guys have pretty much ruined any chances of anything because, like I said, it's easy to make fun of y'all. It's funny, right? But again, these are corporations who don't give a shit about people. You really think that this group of people that's going out here shitting on their company all fucking day long, just out here like 24 fucking 7, you guys have Warner Brothers balls in your mouth. Like, damn, can y'all just one day spend time with your family? Shit. Stay off Twitter, stay off all that shit, and just live life, right? They don't care. They do not care. They're really not about to sit up there and do shit to make you happy. James Gunn has been called everything but a child of God by y'all, and you really sit up there like, well, if he's really Snyder's friend, he'll go out there and restore the Snyderverse. After you've called him pedos and wished, I mean, I don't know if I've seen anybody wish death yet. One of you lunatics probably has, but everything short of death you has wished on this man. You are talking about this man's wife, his friends, his fucking his art, everything. You are just shitting on this man simply because you didn't get your way. But you still hold out the hope that the man who has the fucking keys will let you drive. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's, again, I make fun of y'all, but no business wants to deal with that shit. You have painted yourselves as the most toxic fucking group that has ever existed. Okay? Like, y'all like to call people Nazis and pedophiles and shit. Y'all are the fucking Manson family of fans. That's what you guys are. Okay? People called y'all the MAGA of comic book fans. And I mean, I can see the extreme MAGA people. I can see that being a good analogy for y'all. But I use the Manson family because you're fucking psychopaths. You worship one person that you just he cannot do any wrong. That's the thing. He's flawless to y'all. And then, but he comes out and tells you, hey, it's over. I'm done. And you're still fighting for it. Like, no, he can't. He doesn't mean that. And plus, when the fuck do y'all think this Snyderverse is going to come out? Do you guys not understand how old some of these actors are? I'm not saying like they're 80, 90 years old or nothing like that. But my point is, if anything would happen, it would happen after. Like the first slate of all James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU, after all that shit gets released and they got their momentum going and their shows and their movies and all that shit, they got a fucking 10-year plan. In 10 years, you really think you're going to restore it back and get the Justice League 2 and 3 story that y'all masturbate to every single day? No. Folks are going to be too fucking old to do that shit. And plus, at that point, you have had 10 years of new DC shit. The average moviegoer, the general audience, they ain't going to give a fuck about the Snyder shit. It might jog their memory. You talking about that shit from back in like 2021? That's what they're going to say. So I don't know, man. It's sad to see y'all go out so bad like that, but it is funny. I'm just glad Zack finally said some shit because he let the shit go on too long. To be perfectly honest with me, he let it go on for way too long. There should be no reason on God's green earth that y'all should have been allowed to be led on a string this long, knowing wasn't shit about to happen. He knew wasn't shit about to happen. That's why he didn't care, and he's making his own fucking movies. He ain't think about DC. But y'all just stuck with it. But back to David Ayer, right? Y'all were so on this fucking Ayer cut shit. And it's not because y'all really want to see the movie. It's just y'all want to get your way again. You want to prove that your hashtags work and all this other shit. And David Ayer is one who stand to pick a fucking side. I will say that, man. If he's going to keep getting involved in it, because he loves the interactions and attention. I know he like to play dumb on shit, but that's what people do. Like, if you're making this much of a fucking commotion over me, I'm flattered. So he gonna keep egging certain shit on. And like one day he'll be like, you know, why are y'all acting so crazy? And James Gunn is a friend and he'll do blah, 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 blah. And then y'all get in your feelings. What do you mean, David? We were fighting for you. We were campaigning. We were on a crusade for you. Like, y'all are really out there laying down on the sword for this man or something. Like, y'all don't know this man and he don't know y'all. But y'all act like y'all were really out here doing the Lord's work for him by spamming hashtags all fucking day long. It's fucking stupid, man. It's dumb, okay? But he's coming out saying, hey, if they release it, they release it. I talked to James, blah, 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 blah. No point in time did David Ayer sit up there and tell y'all, oh, yeah, it's definitely coming. But y'all have created this scenario in your head because now you need a substitute. Especially now that your Snyderverse is dead. Your only hope is that you can get this Ayer cut so you can just point and be like, yeah, see, we did that. No, if they decide to do it once again, Warner Brothers, Gunn, whoever, they're doing it for corporate reasons. They don't give a shit about your hashtags. They might get bored in 10 years and just be like, you know what? We got some shit to put on Max. We're going to put this air cut on Max real quick. Like, we can throw them because we done made our money back on these movies now. Like, since y'all like to claim Warner Brothers is broke as fuck. Y'all like to claim Warner Brothers is just so broke because they only depend on fucking superhero movies. Like, they don't make a whole library of other shit. They only make superhero movies, so they broke as fuck. But y'all still want them to give Zack Snyder $200, $300, $400, $500 million to make fucking movies. I digress. But again, I'm glad that the shit's over with. I don't really have a need to talk about y'all no more now. Like, it's done. The only thing y'all can do is the same shit y'all been doing on Twitter since yesterday anyway. And that is just not coping well. That's pretty much it. Making up your own headcanon and not coping well and lashing out at other people and all such. I seen one dude was super depressed about it. Like, well, I just don't know what I'm going to do now. Live life, motherfucker. That's what the fuck you about to do now. You about to live. You about to enjoy some other shit. Find something else to be a cultist of then, I guess, since that's the only thing you seem to know. There's all kinds of IPs and franchises and directors and actors, etc. out there that you can just latch on to and just be a stan of that. Because your slow-mo messiah said that it's over. Okay, he's going up beyonder. That's what he's doing now. He ain't thinking about DC or superheroes. He said, the only thing I would do is a Dark Knight Returns. Some of y'all latched your hopes on that, but let's be honest, that shit's not happening either. And if it does happen, do you know how fucking far down the road that would have to happen? Like, even as an Elseworlds, because all they're going to do is look at it and be like, that's the same shit you did in BVS. The whole, like, that's the climax in BVS was Superman versus Batman. That's the climax in fucking Dark Knight Returns, Superman versus Batman. Amongst all the other shit that's going on, but I don't know if I could take a fucking 3 or 4 hour Zack Snyder movie with Ben Affleck and Jared Leto. I don't know if I could do that. I can't. I refuse. Fuck it. I refuse. But anyway, that shit's dead. I'm glad y'all wasted all these years on it, and hopefully you find something else to waste your years on. And one last thing, last but definitely not least, and this is completely off of that sad little cult. Y'all gotta stop getting so worked up over like these older directors not liking comic book movies. Like, I get it, and in the publications that run these interviews where they ask them, they should be ashamed of their damn self. Like, what the fuck are you asking Ridley Scott and Martin Scorsese and people like that? Why are you asking them their opinion of superhero movies? Like, they've never made those types of movies. Well, Ridley Scott kind of close. You know, he does a lot of science fiction shit. But my thing is they don't make spandex and capes movies. They just don't do it, right? And honestly, they have every fucking right to feel however the fuck they feel. The same thing I just ranted about Snyder Cultist and the Snyderverse. I didn't like it. I have my opinion. I have the right to not like the shit, and they have the right to not like comic book movies. But y'all got to stop acting like it's some kind of travesty of justice that has occurred because they don't like it. Like, they didn't come and insult you personally. Like, I don't like Superman movies and I don't like your mama. Like, they ain't come out there and do that type of shit. It's just gave their opinion on that because it was the question that they were asked. And at this point, I know Scorsese's probably so pissed at being asked that shit over and over again. Plus, he's old. So he's going to be, okay, this the 80th time you done asked me the shit. Nigga, fuck superhero movies and fuck your mama and fuck your kids and fuck your dog. Like, he's going to go in on him, right? But y'all got to stop getting so mad over that shit. It's not that fucking serious, all right? But on the flip side of it, those who use his words as some kind of weapon against Marvel or DC or just comic book movies in general, y'all got to stop with that shit too. Because like I said, it's an opinion, but that's all the fuck it is an opinion. Martin Scorsese is not the fucking king supreme ruler of Hollywood. Neither is Ridley Scott or any of the rest of these people. Your Christopher Nolans, nobody is that. Steven Spielberg, go back with it. Nobody is just the fucking undisputed heavyweight champion of fucking Hollywood, and their word is bond. Like, no, that's not the way it works. So when you're saying like, yeah, because they make real cinema, stop it. This ain't the shit on Scorsese, but I'm gonna be completely real with y'all. Goodfellas ain't nothing but Menace to Society starring Italians, okay? He makes a lot of hood movies starring Italians, all right? He's made a bunch of other shit, and I'm not the one because Goodfellas is my shit. Casino, that is my shit. There's a whole bunch of his fucking catalog that I'm like, Yes. And then there's other shit that I'm like, he wanted to do it, so more power to him. But yeah, I'm not watching it. And if I did watch it, I'm not watching it again. But there's a lot of directors who shits like that. So please stop it when y'all just using that shit as some kind of weapon. Like, see, Scorsese agrees with me. Give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if it's Martin Scorsese or Martin Jones down the street. It's still an opinion, okay? But anyway, I hope y'all have a happy holiday. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that I just hope your days are full of joy and cheer. Okay. Oh, and I do want to give a shout out. The Truth 31, Omar Diaz, Saggy Melons. There's a couple other people, but y'all in particular, man. Like, I enjoy y'all content. I watch the shit, or listen to the shit, I should say, and yeah, it's cool. So I like that you guys give nerd news. You give it consistently too, because y'all be, yeah, exactly what I was talking about earlier. I don't have the energy, man. I salute y'all, because I would go crazy. Like, I run out of shit to talk about. I'll be perfectly honest. We just be sitting in silence. Well, so today I ate a bacon cheeseburger. It was pretty tasty. Like, that would be my content. So, shout out to y'all for doing that, and shout out to the people who actually subscribe to my channel. Like, I just looked and I was like, oh shit. Like, I thought I had. I mean, be honest with you, I thought I had like 7 or 8 people. I was like, it ain't like I'm sitting on hundreds or thousands or anything like that. But I was happy. Like, thank you, appreciate that. Because I mean, I'm just made about 4 or 5 videos, and I'll just be cussing a lot and talking about comic shit and clowning Snyder nerds. That's all I do. But anyway, man, y'all have a good one again. Happy holidays, happy early Christmas, or whatever it is that you celebrate. Or if you don't celebrate nothing at all, happy living, okay? Shit. But y'all be cool, man.